Welcome home, my little hellhounds. 'Tis the season to get scared and terrified. So please enjoy these daily uploads of all the scary creepypastas I can find. So if this is to your liking, then please rip the flesh off that like button and swallow the subscribe button whole. And don't forget to hunt down that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And if you have any scary stories, whether true or creepypasta, then submit them to Reddit r/homeofscares and follow me on Twitter at homeofscares. Now, let's get right into it. Bloody Mary. She lived deep in the forest in a tiny cottage and sold herbal remedies for a living. Folks living in the town nearby called her Bloody Mary and said she was a witch. No one dared cross the old crone for fear that their cows would go dry, their food stored rot away before winter, their children take sick of fever, or any number of terrible things that an angry witch could do to her neighbours and their children. Then the little girls in the village began to disappear, one by one. No one could find out where they had gone. Grief-stricken families searched the woods, the local buildings, and all the houses and barns. But there was no sign of the missing girls. A few brave souls even went to Bloody Mary's home in the woods to see if the witch had taken the girls, but she denied any knowledge of the disappearances. Still, it was noted that her haggard appearance had changed. She looked younger, more attractive. The neighbours were suspicious, but they could find no proof that the witch had taken their young ones. Then came the night when the daughter of the miller rose from her bed and walked outside, following an enchanted sound no one else could hear. The miller's wife had a toothache and was sitting up in the kitchen, treating the tooth with a herbal remedy. When her daughter left the house, she screamed for her husband and followed the girl out of the door. The miller came running in his nightshirt. Together they tried to restrain the girl, but she kept breaking away from them and heading out of town. The desperate cries of the miller and his wife woke the neighbours. They came to assist the frantic couple. Suddenly, a sharp-eyed farmer gave a shout and pointed towards a strange light at the edge of the woods. A few townsmen followed him out into the field and saw Bloody Mary standing beside a large oak tree, holding a magic wand that was pointed towards the miller's house. She was glowing with an unearthly light as she set her evil spell upon the miller's daughter. The townsmen grabbed their guns and their pitchforks and ran towards the witch. When she heard the commotion, Bloody Mary broke off her spell and fled back into the woods. The far-sighted farmer had loaded his gun with silver bullets in case the witch ever came after his daughter. Now he took aim and shot at her. The bullet hit Bloody Mary in the hip and she fell to the ground. The angry townsmen leapt upon her and carried her back into the field, where they built a huge bonfire and burned her at the stake. As she burned, Bloody Mary screamed a curse at the villagers. If anyone mentioned her name aloud before a mirror, she would send her spirit to revenge herself upon them for her terrible death. When she was dead, the villagers went to the house in the woods and found the unmarked graves of the little girls the evil witch had murdered. She had used their blood to make her young again. From that day to this, anyone foolish enough to chant Bloody Mary's name 3 times before a darkened mirror will summon the vengeful spirit of the witch. It is said that she will tear their bodies to pieces and rip their souls from their mutilated bodies. The souls of these unfortunate ones will burn in torment as Bloody Mary once was burned, and they will forever be trapped in the mirror. The final bus of Route 375. The story happened on the bleak night of November 14th, 1995 in Beijing, China. An old man, some also say an old woman, was waiting at a bus stop at the midnight, picking up a conversation with the only other person at the stop, who was a quiet young gentleman. When the midnight bus 375, the last bus for Route 375 from the Yunminghun bus terminus, finally came, they both boarded on it. The old man took a seat near the front of the bus, while the young man sat a couple of rows behind him. There was no other passenger along with them than the driver and the decent lady ticket collector. After a while, the driver spotted 2 shadows by the side of the road, waving at the bus. The driver stopped, and when the doors opened, 3 people got on. There were 2 men who were supporting a third man between them, holding him up by his shoulders. The man in the middle was looking dishevelled and his head was bowed, so nobody could see his face, and there was a dismal, calm atmosphere inside the bus. Shortly after that, the old man picked up a fight with the young man under some silly pretext of stealing his wallet. The altercation escalated and the driver forced them both off the bus. When they got off the bus, zoomed away, the old man was no longer angry, and he told the young man that he had saved their lives because the 3 new passengers did not have feet and were floating. They were not living people, he said. After that, they went to the nearest police station to report this event, but nobody believed them. But the very next day, the bus company issued a statement. Last night, the final bus for Route 375 has vanished along with the driver and ticket lady. The police immediately chased down that old man and the young man, who were assumed to be mentally ill, when they tried to raise the alarm earlier, and they were both interviewed on the news. On the 3rd day, the police revealed the allegedly missing bus in the water reservoir about 100 kilometers away from its destination, Yingshangshan, or so-called Fragrant Hills. Inside the bus there were 3 very badly decomposed corpses, and the mysteries surrounding this finding included: the bus did not have enough petrol for it to keep going that far after a whole day's worth of travel. The police found that the petrol tank was filled with fresh blood instead of petrol. The corpses found were too decomposed for just 48 hours. Even if it was summer, the process of decomposition would not be this quick. An autopsy confirmed that there has been no intentional meddling with the bodies. The police went through all the security camera tapes set up for the various entrances to assess the reservoir, but have found nothing out of the ordinary. To this day, it remains an unsolved mystery. And that's it for tonight, my little hellhounds. Thanks for listening. I hope you're enjoying these daily uploads. If you have any scary stories, then submit them to Reddit r/homeofscares and follow me on Twitter at homeofscares. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click that bell icon so you get notified every time I upload. Now, good night, my little hellhounds.